Hello, thank you so much for joining us for Abs, Thighs, Glutes. My name is Audra, and as always, feel free to take breaks if you need to, listen to your body. Don't do anything that doesn't feel right for you. And today we're going to use a couple props. We're going to use a ball. If you don't have one at home, you can use a pillow, fold it a couple times. And then if you have access to a mini band, you are welcome to use it. If you don't, you're still going to get your glutes working pretty hard. It's fine. And we're just going to start on our back, knees bent, feet flat, ball in between our knees. And just kind of check in with your body today. Just kind of see where you are, right? Like notice if maybe your ribs are flaring and you've got an arch in your low back, or notice if your low back is really imprinted and you're in a big tuck. And you can bring your hands to your hip bones and just start taking your pelvis through neutral and then imprint, just starting to get a little bit of movement. So let your tailbone be really heavy, and then let your tailbone be really light, lower back lengthens to the ground. Back and forth just a couple of times. And then on your next rock, we're going to come into neutral and hold. Now, as we breathe, think about expanding your rib cage three-dimensionally. So you're breathing wide and not just up, right? On your exhale, think of your ribs and hip bones all being pulled towards your belly button. And you can gently press your sacrum, that triangular bone in between your cheeks, into the ground. And then inhale wide. Exhale, draw everything together. Possibly let your sacrum be pretty heavy. And just see if you can start feeling your abs a little bit, right? Couple more breaths. One reason breathing is so important here is our diaphragm, our transverse abdominis, and our pelvic floor are all interconnected to allow us to get intervertebral stability without having to like clench. On your next exhale, hold the engagement, imprint your spine, press your feet into the ground and start to peel your spine up into a little bridge. Now check in, make sure your weight's not at your neck, but is more on your shoulder blades. Good. And then press your hands into the ground a little bit more and see if it just helps you elevate slightly without bringing tension into your back. On your exhale, melt your throat, sternum, rib cage, low back, into the mat, coming into your neutral. Couple more here. Exhale, find that engagement, and then imprint your spine. So you're tucking your tailbone. Press your feet into the ground to help you elevate. And then press your hands or arms into the ground a little bit more if you need to. Melting all the way through your throat to your tailbone on the way down. Couple more. Now on the way down, if you can articulate bone by bone, that is fantastic. If you have to bring excessive tension into a different part of your body, like your shoulders or your glutes or your low back, instead of trying to find that perfect articulation, just let the tissue of your back melt into the floor. Last one here. And then come all the way down. Go ahead, drop the ball and bring one foot on top of it. Now, I want you to think about your toes, and without letting that knee collapse in, we're rotating our toe that's on the ball inward a little bit into a slight kind of pigeony position, pressing down equally into the heel and the big toe mound, come back into your bridge. And then just come halfway down. We're hinging this time. Press into the ball to lift you. Everybody feel their hamstring talking already? Yeah. Couple more, small hinge and lift. Good morning, hamstring. Two more, I love how as soon as we started this, I just heard grumbling. 2 more. Think about those ribs drawing towards your belly button. Hold. Now the foot that's on the floor, all I need you to do is lift your heel and then press the heel back into the ground. And again, lift just the heel and press it into the ground. Trying to keep your hips nice and even. Tucking your tailbone a little bit. If you feel that your back is really trying to help you, lower down slightly, right? Last 2. Don't worry, we're not going to lift our foot this time and roll it all the way down. Keeping your foot on the ball, press your heel into the ball, push the ball away as you straighten your leg, and then press down into it to drag it back. Just a couple like this, reaching the foot away, and then finding that hamstring recruitment to bend the knee. Now, you can stay like this, or you can interlace your hands behind your head, spiraling your elbows slightly forward, shoulder blades draw down your back, come into a chest lift. Bring your fingertips forward if you're kind of low and push them into an imaginary surface. Hands come back behind your head, reach the ball away and bring it in. You're welcome to put your head down at any time. And we are still trying to find that hollow through the front of our body. So our ribs are drawing towards our belly button. And we are trying to curl our abs up and over an imaginary beach ball. Good. 2 more like this. As you extend that leg, push the foot even farther away from you and float your other leg to tabletop. Now, we're going to move the leg that's suspended in the air. So it's going to tap towards the ground. Exhale, allow it to float back up. Thigh bone sinks down in the socket. Good. Now, if you need to have your head down, it's great. The foot that's on the ball, if you need a rest, take one. But we're trying not to ignore it. It's being pushed away from us so much that just half a pound is being taken out of it. Anybody not feeling their abs just a little baby bit? Okay, great. We have 3 more. And 2. Last one. Hold. Take the opposite arm as knee. You're going to place the hand into that knee, using your obliques to try to get a little rotation. And then you press your leg into your hand so that glute medius is helping. Good. And then you can tap it down and rotate again. Good. Just starting small. And if you need to, you can always keep the foot on the ground. Okay. You can always press into the ball rather than pushing it away. If pushing it away is too much on your back, use your hamstring to push down. We have 2 more. Last one. And come all the way down. Bring the ball in. I have wonderful news. Other side. So bring the ball in. And I want you to pay attention to your feet, right? So we are not letting the knee collapse in. That glute is stable. We are rotating our tibia. So our toes point in just a little bit. Press down, come into the bridge. Keeping the ribs nice and closed. It doesn't have to be high. Hip hinge halfway. Think about pressing into the ball being the gas pedal of the move here. And at the top, think about the underbutt, right? That's what's helping to lift you. Weight still on the shoulders instead of the neck. So try to keep your throat open. Okay, Iris? Yeah. Take a break if you need to. Okay. Good. Couple more. Now find your elevated position and hold. Now you're not married to this position, right? You can always come out of it a little bit. Just lift the heel on the floor, or the foot that's attached to the floor, press the heel down. And again, trying to keep the hip bones pointing the same direction. We have 4, 3. Everybody okay? Got 2 more. Last one. Come all the way down. Keep your head down for a couple. Just push the ball away, reaching it far, far away. And then drive that heel down to bring it in. Good. Couple more. Think of that thigh bone connecting to the rib cage. So that's where we're getting our stability from. 2 more. Last one. Hands behind your head. You can come into your chest lift if you like. And reach and just push. Almost think of pushing that foot so far away that it's trying to leverage you up. Good. Nice job, everybody. Still drawing the belly button in and down. Hey, Nancy, feel how that's leveraging you up there? Yeah? Great. Keep the height as the knee comes in. Yeah, there you go. I know it's harder. Now, if you would like, extend, push that foot away, float your other leg to tabletop. And we can allow it to reach away from us. Exhale. Good. Drawing that belly button down, down, down. And just check in with your hip bones, right? We want them to point straight to the sky as opposed to towards our face if we can help it. So we're trying to be in a neutral pelvis. Everybody doing good still? Great. Trying to take like half a pound or less off the ball. And then on your last one, we get to add that rotation. So we rotate, opposite hand to leg, push the leg into the hand, use the obliques to push the hand into the leg, and then come back to center, tap, rotate, hold that for a second, really find that nice isometric contraction, right? Couple more. We have 3. And 2. Last one. Bring the foot down, head comes down, roll the ball in. And you can actually take the ball in between your feet to bring it to your hands. Now we're going to use the heel of our hand here. Think more about the armpit to ab connection rather than the neck and shoulders, okay? So your elbows can be spiraling in. Bring one leg to tabletop. Push your knee and the heel of your hand into the ball. So you're pushing into each other. Good. Everybody feel their abs start to kick on a little? Great. And then other side. So we're starting with just that little isometric contraction. Now this might be where you are, right? Little march, where you take a second in between, and then back. Maybe you want both knees to be up, squeezing those inner thighs together as if you're trying to pop a balloon. The ball will press against both knees, and then you can tap one toe, bring it back, other side. Now maybe this is where you are, or maybe you want to extend that leg away from you rather than tapping it, right? You're still pushing into the ball, good. You're still pushing the knee into the ball as well, trying to find that deep abdominal connection. Couple more. Last two. Last one. Go ahead, bring the ball in between your knees for a second, hands behind your thighs. Straighten your arms, press your thighs into your hands, and we're coming all the way up. Now, you are welcome to stay in this position, or you can bring the ball behind you. It's up to you. If your low back gets a little tweaky, have the ball behind you to start, okay? So hands behind your thighs, shoulder blades draw down your back. We're just gonna curl our tailbone towards our face, start to roll back until maybe your arms straighten, right? And then exhale, draw your belly button through your spine more. Good. And you can let go with your hands. Yeah. On your exhale, slowly start to bring your arms up a little bit high. We're just going to make eye contact this whole time. Hey, girl, hey. And exhale. Good, everybody. Now, you don't have to take your arms all the way back, right? And if you get to a point where your elbows bend, that could be an indicator that maybe your lats are a little tight. So pause before then and just hold for a second, right? If you'd like more challenge, bring the ball back farther. Try not to put all your weight on it. Or if you'd like more challenge, bring the ball between your knees. We have 3. Good. As you bring the arms overhead, try to take a pound of your weight out of the ball. Good. Now hands forward, shoulder blades still draw down. Keeping your torso facing one direction. I'm going to face forward so I can watch all of you a little easier. We're just going to slide one arm out to the side, hold, and then back. Good. So if you're making eye contact with the person across from you, great, because we're trying to like maintain that. Good. Everybody feel how their obliques have to kick on a little bit? Yeah. Yeah. Couple more breaths here. Good. Shoulders melting out of the ears. Beautiful. And once again, if you need a break, you take a break. Otherwise, we're going to add on. So take the arm out to the side, hold, flip your palm up, and reach that thumb back as the other hand kind of comes forward a little bit. Yeah. And then back. Yeah. So hold, flip, and then add the rotation. Nancy, don't put as much weight on the ball. Yeah. Sorry. Out and then rotate. Good. Nice, everybody. Now the ball should be a prop that works for you, right? So if you need less work, the ball is going to be closer in. Okay, no problem. If you need more work, the ball is going to be farther out. Good. One more each side. Everybody doing okay? You're all like, yeah. It is a lot. And dive forward, restack. All right, we're going to bring our hands behind our head. Make sure the chin is slightly knotted and the nose is back in space. So we're just lengthening through the crown of our head. Interlace your hands. It's your favorite, Nancy. Elbows forward.
Are you feeling it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We're going to roll back and hold. I didn't do anything for a week. I'm going to be so sore tomorrow. And just take your elbows wide. Yes, of course. And and wide. Yeah. Good. Everybody feel how as soon as those elbows go out to the side, it's a lot harder, right? So, so try not to necessarily flatten out through your spine, right? Keep the ribs in. Think about width. Yeah, good. Nice job, everybody. 2 more, unless you need a break. And in which case, take a break. Yeah. And then bring it forward. All right. This time, the ball should be between your knees. Yeah. Yeah. And we're going to bring our hands forward, forearms on our knees. Think about pressing into our knees from the lats a little bit, from the serratus, from the obliques. So basically armpits and abs. And just curl and start to roll back a little at a time. Keep going. Yeah. Until that point where you're like, I'm not going to be able to get back up. Inhale, exhale, get back up. Yeah, yeah, and that's okay. Guess what? There are so many fun tricks to get back up. If you go, oh my God, I'm stuck, use your legs. Okay, no problem. Yeah. Trying to fold forward. You're doing great. You're doing great. So it's a rolling rather than a dragging through the hip flexors, right? 2 more. Last one. And now take the ball, place it behind your thoracic. So it's going to be a lot farther than we started with. Hands behind your head for support, and just extend over the ball. Get a little extension. Feels good, right? Yeah. Now on your exhale, think about sinking the ribs together towards your belly button, and then try to push the ball away from you as you curl forward. Yeah. And then slowly extend. Keep the tension of your abs here. So it's kind of easy to let go, but if you keep kind of squeezing them to resist gravity a little bit, you get work on the way down too, yeah? Now, as you do this, start checking in with your body. Maybe the ball needs to be closer into you. Maybe it needs to be farther away. My sweet spot is like right at the base of my ribs. 2 more. Curling from the rib cage to come up rather than the neck, right? So we're creating like a big uppercase C shape. On this next one, hold. Bring your fingertips forward, push them into an imaginary surface. Notice how it helped take just a little bit of the weight out of the ball. Bring your hands back, see if you can maintain that without sinking into it more. Good. Bring your feet a little closer to you. Push one foot into the floor, float the other leg to tabletop. Reach it away, push, float. Huh. Now, if this is too much, come down a little, right? How's everyone feeling? Great. Yeah. Anybody not trembling a little bit? Yeah. Now, if you like, you can add rotation, trying to maintain that nice kind of centrated spine, right? So we're not sliding back and forth as much as we're trying to rotate our ribs. Good. A few more. Beautiful. Beautiful. 2 more each side. If your back starts trying to take over or you need a break, come into that extension. Last one each side. Both feet can stay on the ground, rotate to one side. Now slowly extend, maintaining that rotation. Exactly same place as you come up. Good. Yep, there we go. And then extend a little, resisting gravity on the way down. Same side, yeah. Trying to keep your hips nice and heavy and even. Good. 2 more. And of course, if you want, you can bring that leg up and push it away. We get to do the other side. You are welcome to keep both legs on the ground, extend over, find that exact same position. Now the neck doesn't want to lag, but we're also not leading with it. Think about your collarbones coming forward as the rib cage goes backwards. And of course, if you like, you can start with that leg. Extend, still keep it connected to the rib cage. Couple more. How's everyone doing? Great. Good. 2. Last one. Come all the way up. We're going to do some roll-ups. So bring the prop between your feet if you like. If you need your feet a little wider, great, widen your legs. Also, feel free to keep your knees bent if you need to. And if any of you need a prop, will you hold yours up? Yeah, perfect. Those gardening pads are great underneath the low back. So bring your arms forward, shoulder blades draw down your back. Now think about your ribs being pulled back behind you so you're arcing up and over. And just curl, but now this time we're going all the way down. It's okay. Once you make it supine, allow your arm bones to be kind of heavy, but imagine that you've got like a 10-pound weight and you want to resist gravity as those arms go overhead. You inhale, exhale. You okay?
Yeah, not right.
Your knee talking?
My left side is tired.
Oh. And then curl. Yeah. I would say just think about your right armpit connecting a little bit more. Yeah, and that'll help with that. Yeah. There. And feel free to bend your knees if you need to. Feel free to use your legs to climb up if you need to. Good. Does that feel a little bit better? Yeah. Give me just 2 more here. Good. Last one. Now, you can either stick with these or press one heel into the ground, push the other foot away from you, and just take a pound out of it as you lift. Reach it away, press that foot into the ground. Other foot pushes away as you curl. Now, if you need to, use your hands. You are also welcome to bend your knee, right? That's all right. Good. Beautiful. Now, this is like a little precursor to a teaser. Don't wrench it. You got this. Use your breath. Yeah. Now, if when you're doing your teaser, you're like, I want to do full teaser. I love full teaser. Fantastic. What we'll do is we're going to think about those thigh bones suction cupping to your ribs. And then on the way down or up, you're going to push your feet away from you, squeezing your inner thighs together and just hold. You don't have to come up onto your tailbone. You don't need to flatten out your back. All right. And then on the way down, reach the crown of your head and feet away from each other. Good. Or you can stick with one leg at a time. You don't have to do both. Feel free, you guys. So if you're like, wait, what? One leg. It's fine. One leg. It's great. Good. Yeah. Use your breath. You almost had it. Yeah. Yeah. Good. 2 more. Yeah. Yeah. There. Yes. Yeah. It was great. So if you get stuck, think about your spine starts to curl you up, but then your hips have to move. You have to rotate your pelvis a little bit in order to get up a little bit more. Yeah. And then feet together, knees apart. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yes. And then relax over your legs. Nice job, everybody. If you have a mini band, you are welcome to put it on above your knees. Now, if you're like, I don't have a mini band, that's okay. You're still gonna feel your glutes. And if you're like, I need to get rid of this, get rid of it. It's great. So come onto your side to start. And we have our prop. You are welcome to use your prop as a pillow, okay? Now on our side, we want to lengthen that hip away from us. Think of lifting our bottom rib a little bit as if I wanted to slide a sheet of paper. And then take your top hip bone, rotate it forward slightly. Now glance at your top knee. I want it ever so slightly in front of that bottom knee. Keep your sits bones wide and just lift your knee and foot. Yep, and hold. And then slowly lower down. Widen through your sits bones as you lift. Hold and back. Now, as you do this, don't worry about range of motion. If this is your range of motion where you can stabilize your pelvis, that's fine. If as you lift your leg, your hips rotate towards the sky, keep it a little smaller. We want the hip bones to face straight ahead. Good. How's everyone feeling? Great? Yeah. Now, if you don't have a mini band, just keep it nice and slow and deliberate. We have 3, 2 more. Last one, hold it up. Now, all we're gonna do is lift our foot, keep the knee still. Now, keep the knee still, lower the foot. Keep the knee still, lift the foot. Yeah, keep the knee still, lower the foot. That's the hard part, isn't it? Everybody feel how that glute just like kicks on? Yeah. Yeah. And it's kind of like a clamshell, but also not like a clamshell. Good. Keep the knee still in space. We're rotating the femur, but the knee isn't what's moving. It's just the foot. Everyone doing okay? Yeah. Last one. Like this. Lift the foot, flex the foot, push the foot away from you. Reach it far, far away. And then allow the knee to come in. It's going to either touch the bottom knee or actually bypass it. And then reach it away. We're keeping a little internal rotation here because how often do we really work internal rotation? Not that often, right? Good. How's everyone doing? Good. Good. If you need a break, take a break. Yeah. Still remember that bottom rib should be gently elevated. 3, 2 more. Last one, hold it out. Now all we're going to do is rotate it back to center, okay? Now imagine that your heel's against a wall, push your heel into the wall, and again, boom. So now that glute max is kicking on a little, yeah? Yeah. Great. We have 5. Hold it back, making sure that the back is nice and still, reaching the foot away from you. Yeah, that's exactly where you should be feeling it. So perfect, even if you need a break. Bring your heel back a little bit more. Yeah, even more. There you go. Good. Is that more exciting? Yeah. 2. Last one, hold. Now moving from the thigh bone instead of the foot, rotate the knee a little bit towards the sky. So now we're in external rotation and press back. Exact same thing, slight different rotation. All of a sudden, the muscles kick on a little differently, right? Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, exactly. Glutes are important. Oh, for everything. 2 more. And now we can do little baby circles. We're going to keep that external rotation. So glutes are really important for things like walking, going upstairs. They help support your back. Good. Taking breaks as needed. Otherwise, you have 2 more and then we get to reverse. Yeah. 4, dragging that heel back in space. You guys, we've been at this for like 6 minutes. That's it. Maybe less. And now I have wonderful news. You get a break, bring that leg in, smack that hip out. Yeah. And then we get to do the other side. I know, I can tell you're all so excited. Did you say you forgot about the other side? Oh. Yeah. So go ahead, lie back. Let your bottom rib lift. You guys are amazing, by the way. These are not easy. Lift that bottom rib. Tail feathers spread wide. Rotate your top hip bone forward slightly. Kyle, stick your tail feathers back a little. Yep, there you go. Good. Now, keep that spread lift, knee and foot. How's that feel? Already working, isn't it? Yeah. So the good news and the bad news is the same news. This side was already working to stabilize you. So you're probably going to feel it a little bit faster. Yeah. But that also means that now the side that already worked is stabilizing you, right? Good. We have just a few more. Feel free to take as many breaks as you need. Try to keep the foot and knee moving at about the same rate of travel. 2, good. Hey, you guys ready to hold? Yeah, keep the knee still. Lift the foot, keeping the knee still. Keep the knee still, lower the foot. Keep the knee still, lift. Yeah. So we're internally rotating and externally rotating, right? Another way you could do this is feet together and elevated clamshell, but it's a slightly different position. So it just engages the muscles a little differently. It challenges them differently, right? You are welcome to kind of touch the knee to make sure it's not lowering with the foot. Good, guys, got a couple more in ya? Yeah, same. Good, last set. And then we get to hold the foot up, flex the foot, push it away from you on that angle. Yeah, and then allow the thigh bone to fold as the knee comes in. You can pause it at that other knee or bring it in. We're just trying not to bring the spine with us, right? So pushing the foot away, 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 thinking of a tension rod from your foot to your ribs. Yeah. Letting that internal rotation happen. We need internal rotation of our tibia, our fibula, and our femur. Couple more. How's that bottom glute? Still talking? Yeah. And then hold. All we're going to do is bring the knee and foot to point forward. Imagine it's against a wall, just gently press it into the wall. Good. Trying to keep that spine from arching as the foot comes back. So it's not that you shouldn't be able to arch. It's not that you never want to do that move. It's just if our spine is moving, we're actually not getting as much hip extension as we are lumbar extension, right? A couple more. 3, 2. Now all we're gonna do, moving from the upper thigh bone instead of the foot, rotate that knee a little bit to the sky. Same thing, press it back. Still trying to keep that hip bone pointing forward. How's everyone doing? Great. Yeah. Now you might notice as you externally rotated that that front corner pocket of your hip is a little tight, right? That's our TFL. Good. We have a few more here, and breaks are great. 3, 2, last one, and little circles. This little, did you say good? Yeah, little circles. Think of the thigh bone just stirring freely in the socket, right? Yes, the glute is the prime mover here, but it's okay. We're just trying to get that thigh bone to move. And then reverse your circles. For 5, and breaks are great. 4, 3, 2, last one. Bend that knee, smack that hip out. See where you felt the work. Nice job. Go ahead and come on to all 4s. Now, if for any reason it doesn't feel okay to be on your hands, you can always be on your fists, you can always be on your forearms, okay? If you're on your hands and you're like, well, it's still a lot on my wrist, push a little bit more through your pointer finger mound. And you can be on the floor or the mat. So shoulders above the wrists. And first just sink your entire spine down. Let yourself kind of relax, your shoulder blades come together. Now, press into the floor. Think about pulling the floor away from itself. Good. And then lift your ribs. Good. Tuck your toes. Keep pressing the floor away. Yeah, I would tuck your toes under. Yeah, like this. Nope, you got it. Yeah, there you go. So you're gonna press into the floor, hover your knees, and then down. Good. Yeah. And I'll show a couple different versions of this, or a couple different ranges. So it's tempting, if we're not like really thinking about it, to just kind of lift. If your feet are wider than your knees, I'd like you to try to find the muscles we just found, right? To keep our knees in alignment. Yeah, good. Nancy, bring your feet in a little bit, just towards your feet, towards your hands slightly. Yes, there. Good. And then you can lift there. Good. Doing okay?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Now, if this is where you are, fantastic. If you'd like, extend one leg at a time, coming into plank. I'll wait. That's fine. Yeah. Good. Nice job. Now, if you want, bend one knee, tap it down, reach it back. Other side. Back. Yeah. Couple more. And 2. Last set. Both knees down. Go ahead, press yourself into a little rest position. Opening up those armpits. Taking your hands to one side, up and over one side. Push your hips away from your hands. And then other direction. Come back to your forearms and have your hands more on railroad tracks than an A-frame. Good, and I'm gonna turn this way. And just think about your knees pressing down and out a little bit. Slide one foot away from you. Maybe it hovers off the ground. Exhale, push it away. Maybe it lifts a little, but it doesn't come beyond 90 degrees unless you really have that hip range of motion. And then it slowly taps down, press it away. Now, if you'd like more excitement, as that leg reaches, the arm reaches, right? And just remember, yes, we're holding that point and then we're resisting, right? We're not collapsing. 2 more. Last one, hold. Bring the arm down. We're actually going to externally rotate the thigh bone slightly and then bring it across the body, hold. So if you side bend here, it's not the end of the world, but think about lengthening through your spine. We're bringing the leg across, not the spine. And then tiny little lifts and lowers here. Think about that inner thigh doing the work. Good. Yep, beautiful. Yeah, nice. So it's just that little lift and lower. 5, 4, 3, almost there. Hold, flex that foot. Now instead of up and down, just squeeze across the body a little bit more. Good. 5, trying not to move your spine. If your hips move, you're not going to squeeze as much with those inner thighs, right? That's kind of just more moving the spine. Think about the inner thigh dragging the foot across. 2, 1, knees down. Press yourself into your rest position. Everybody feel their inner thigh a little? Yeah, great. At least we're not bridging on the ball, right? Go ahead, come back. We get to do the other side. So slide the foot out. And maybe it hovers. Push it away a little bit more. Then it can come down. Lengthening through your ears. Still trying to use those abs. Good. Now, if you're ready, you can reach that arm away, finding that stability through that elbow, oblique system, and then glute on that opposite side, right? We have 3, 2, last one. Bend that elbow, bring it down. We're gonna externally rotate, drag that foot across. Now, just lift and lower, thinking of those inner thighs, right? So we have our adductor magnus with your right foot is going to point to the right. Yeah. So keep it, hold there, Kyle, just lift and lower. Yeah, but point your toe and knee towards Nancy. Just rotate it to point your knee towards Nancy. There you go. Yeah, that's external rotation. 2, last one, hold. Now just press the heel into an imaginary surface. So we're dragging it across just a little bit more. Good. A little bit more towards your right. Yeah, there. And just a little bit more again. Yeah. 4, 3, how's everybody doing? 2, last one, knees down, press yourself into a rest position. Yeah. Now, if you've got the mini band and you still want to use the mini band, we're going to bring it to our feet. Flexed feet. We're going to lie down. Bring ourselves to tabletop. Now, think about the side glutes helping here to keep a little bit of tension on the band. If you don't have a mini band or you're over it, it's the same thing, right? It's fine. Hands can come behind your head, come into your chest lift. Good. Now, if you need, bring your hands behind your thighs, press your thighs into your hands to help you lift a little bit more, and then back behind your head. Think about that glute, that inner thigh, stabilizing that leg as you push the other leg away from you. It can be lower than that, Kyle. Yeah. And then let it fold in. Try to keep the knee on this side still and stable. So glute, inner thigh, a little bit of hip flexor as you are pressing from your abs and hamstrings on the other side. Good. Nancy, bend your knees. Not in, just down. Yeah, widen your feet. Yeah, there you go. Here. Now, if you've got a really new band, it's going to be harder than if you have one that's, yeah. Good. Couple more. And then if you'd like, of course, you can rotate towards that knee. Rotate towards the knee. Now, if you feel your hip flexors are trying to do a little bit more work, let the knee come in, set that leg before you push. If you're pulling in with the foot and there's already tension on the band, that is going to cue your hip flexors to do more work. We have 2 more. Last one, each side. Good. Head down. Keep that little bit of tension in the band if you have it. Draw your ribs towards the ground, push both feet away. And then allow them to kind of fold in. And just notice if your feet try to move independently and fold. Good. We have 3 more. And notice how it's harder to find that stable pelvis and low back with our head down, right? Use your breath here, that inhale and exhale. And then hug your knees in towards your chest, gently rock from side to side. You can get rid of the band. And it's easy because it was with your feet. All right, we're gonna come all the way up to standing. Yeah. Now we're gonna take some of what we've been doing and we're gonna integrate it. Yay. So bring your feet pretty close together. We're gonna bend our knees into like a little athletic stance. So knees will come forward a little, but our hips also go back. I want your weight on your midfoot, but the heel should also still have connection. Now, if you need to, you keep both feet on the ground. Otherwise, just tap one foot behind you, okay? Yeah, and you're just gonna lean forward a little bit. Your tail feather will spread back a little. So it's kind of like a little hip hinge. And then think about your hip bones. Your knee stays still. Drop one hip bone and then press into the floor. Come back to center, okay? So you just drop the hip bone without the knee coming in if you can help it. Yeah, push and back. Good, that glute should be working. That soleus, inner thigh, yeah. Now, if you're on the mat, it's way more work than if you're on like a hardwood floor. That's okay. Nancy, you don't have to bend quite as much, just a little rotation, yeah. 2. Good, yeah. Last one, now hold this. Now let's just see if you can feel the difference between your foot versus your hip doing the work. So come back to center, okay? Spread your toes wide. Let this knee come in a little. Now use your glute to spiral that knee out and hold. It's a lot of effort, right? Now let the knee come in a little bit. Now think about the foot helping. You keep the big toe mound down, but the arch lifts. So just lift your arch, Iris. Yeah, there, just like that. And then it comes in, and then you use that glute, and then you use the arch, right? So one of them is more energy efficient than the other, right? 2 more. We need to be able to do both because everything affects everything else. Last one. Then we get to do the other side. Come on up. Yeah. All right. Feet together. Come into that little half stance. Yeah. And then if you want, you can bring that foot back. Now spread your foot wide. Keep your knee in line with your second or third toe. And this hip bone kind of points down. Yeah. And then press into the floor, bring you back. Yeah. Bend your back knee. Bring it in closer to you. All your weight's on your front foot. Yeah. Now try. Good. Better. Now, it's tempting to try to rotate from the ribs to get there. But we're actively trying to rotate our pelvis around our thigh bone, right? So if you think of a clamshell, which we sort of did a version of, we were moving our thigh bone in our hip socket, right? And now we're moving the hip socket around the thigh bone. It's a little trickier, but it's important. Last one. Good, and hold. Now spread the toes, keep that midfoot loaded, let the knee come in, and then use that glute to spiral that knee in line with your second or third toe. Yeah, good. And then let it come in. Now lift with your foot, right? And then let it come in, and then glute. Good, Iris, that looks good. When you lift with your foot, try not to supinate, keep your big toe mound down, it's just the arch, if at all possible, right? Yeah, better. Yeah, I know. 2 more. Good, everybody. Last one. Come all the way up. I know. Bring your feet into a little tightrope position. So that's really, like those strategies are really important for walking, right? Okay, now, if you're feeling good, you're feeling balanced, you can try closing one or both eyes. Just know that your first line of defense is opening your eyes, right? Yeah. Yeah. Now, if you're like, well, I can close one and I'm fine, and I can close the other and I'm fine, but if I close both, it's too much. You can close one, look over a shoulder, and then close the other, look over a shoulder. Just getting that vestibular system as well as our ocular system. Yeah. That's one of the cool things about balance. Let's do the other side. It is something that does tend to just not be as strong as we get older, but it's something that we can work on and build back up. It's a skill that's like really easy to start building back up, right? So of course the vestibular system is like in our ear, ocular is like our visual, and then our nervous system, our muscular system. They all work together to help us navigate the world. Good. Come back to center, open both eyes, feet together. We're gonna end with a little roll down. Hollow out through the front of your body. Let your back relax. Let your hamstrings relax. Let your pelvis start to rotate here. Yeah. And then scoop, roll it all the way up, lengthening through the crown of your head, shoulders to your ears, drop them straight down. Nice job, you guys. Give yourselves a round of applause. Awesome, awesome work. Thank you so much for joining me today. You guys did great. Annie, thank you.